What's Good Morning 1990 coming at you with a Mafia, the Old Country trailer reaction. This is a gameplay trailer just released today. I think it was one of them gaming conventions. I think it's PAX. I think they're supposed to have a whole presentation. I'll have to check that out later. That'll be nice. But I already knew a trailer was coming. They just kept talking about it, hyping it up, which was cool. And I saw, because I had the game wish listed as soon as it could be. I think around the time they had the Game Awards, the end of last year, and I had like a nice little notification pop up. Oh, your wishes is, you're able to pre-order it now. I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't gonna pre-order it yet. I usually don't, if I like something and I want to pre-order it, I usually don't do it until I know it's guaranteed to come out that day, like when it goes gold. So I was like, okay, cool. I just looked at it just to see it, and I saw that it's $50. That's all they charge you for the standard edition anyway. There is a deluxe edition for $60, which that's still reasonable, especially with games pretty much being $70, maybe even rising above that. I think Xbox is already talking about $80 games. Good thing I got Game Pass, so I don't buy no games on there. Unless they like old classics for like dirt cheap. That's like pretty much the only thing I buy from Xbox, but other than that, I'm like, whatever y'all got on Game Pass, that's what I'm playing, if it sounds good. But that was a pleasant surprise. I was like, okay, cool, $50 for Mafia 3, and it's a AAA, it's a AAA game, it's big budget and everything. So that was just a nice pleasant surprise. I don't think they will, but it would be nice if other like developers and publishers looked at that and was just like, maybe we should like look at our games and what they offer and maybe scale back the price depending on what they offer, because Mafia is more of a linear game, and I think you just look at the state of games today, there's a bunch of just bloated games, which to me, honestly, I'm not really that big of a fan of. It sounds good, like on paper, like a nice game that you can sink 200 hours into this game and you can always come back to it. It's cool, but then when you play games like that, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I like it, but I still never finished it. And then it's like, again, I don't like it because it's too much stuff. It's like, bro, I'm a grown man. I got things to do. I got other responsibilities. I got other habits, hobbies. I got other things that I actually like. I can't be stuck on one game, taking 200 hours of my life, and then you keep constantly giving me side stories. And I'm like, it's too much. If I was a kid and y'all was doing stuff like this, cool. Like if I had less responsibilities, cool, I would like it. But now it's just like, it's just too much. I ain't got that kind of time, bro. You gotta chill out. And so it's nice to have a linear game these are more so my type of games, honestly. If you have a great story, great fully developed characters, you give me some fun action, combat. I'm more into like shooters. That's more my thing. So it's like, if you give me that and you give me a linear experience, I'm more apt to play this. Mafia, I've been loving since Mafia 2. That's my introduction to the franchise. The funny thing was, I've never even heard of Mafia 1. So for PS3, this is how I came across Mafia 2. This was back when they actually had demos. Now, so this generation, it looks like they're starting to kind of bring that back again. But back then, like, you can always, like, I found things that I've never heard of and probably would have never otherwise would have played had I not played the demo. Like, my second favorite franchise of all time, Uncharted, I played the demo for. I've never heard of the first one. I think I played the second one on demo. It was like, man, this is pretty fun. Then I played the first one on the demo. I'm like, this is fun. I gotta buy these games up. So Mafia 2 was like that same thing. I just saw it and it said Mafia 2. And being a person who loves mob movies, like, watching stuff like Goodfellas or like the Godfather movies, The Party, something like that, I was like, a video game focused on the Mafia. If you like those mob stories and if you like that kind of like lifestyle sort of thing and you play games, why would you not want to try something called Mafia 2? So I tried it out, played it, eventually bought it. I was like, this game is fire. But I've never heard of the first one. What is the first one? I did my research. I tried to go on Amazon. Amazon was talking crazy. Because, well, I'm a snob, so I don't do pre-owned, I don't do used. I could have bought a used copy and just played it that way, but I'm just a snob like that. Like I don't do. If you mention like thrift store or something, like I start itching and scratching. I'm just like, oh, I can't do that. It's got to be new, mint, new condition. Nobody's ever touched it. It's still wrapped in a cellophane. I'm just OCD like that. So I couldn't get one for a reasonable price. So I'm like, all right, I just watched it on YouTube, and someone like uploaded like all the cutscenes and like the movie kind of format, because these games are very cinematic. And I was like, man, this actually was a bomb story. Too bad I can't play it. And still to this day, I've never played the original Mafia. So I was happy when they did the Mafia Definitive Edition. I finally was able to play the first one actually. So I played all the Mafia games except technically the original one, the PS2 version. So I already knew I was going to, look forward to this one, get this one day one. It being $50, that's great. So we're going to check out this trailer, and I'm going to give y'all my thoughts and impressions. Let's check it out.
Bravery is not common in this world, and so loyalty, honor, obedience. They set the man apart from the rest.
Be obedient, oh hard-headed mother.
But this matter is not yet resolved. Will you help me bring it to a close? Of course, under easy.
Oof. Yeah, it's still visceral. Hey, we throwing knives too? Oh, okay. We old school. We got the 6-shooters. Okay, we got the old cars, ancient, first editions. The museum. Oh, okay. I look like Red Dead Redemption right there. Okay. Oh, still got gore. I like how slick the movement is too. It's pretty nice. Looks smooth. Shooting on horseback, okay. So it's the Red Dead Redemption vibes in here.
You again.
Are we knife fighting? Oh. Oof, that was close. Pre-order now. It looks fire. And it's coming out, okay, August 8th. That could have been revealed today, I think. So many people leaked the release date, so I kind of knew that was coming. But yeah, it looks great. I'm glad we got a good look at this game, especially 3 months closer to the time. I mean, they just gave us like under 2 minutes game. That's really all we need. I really just want to kind of jump into it blindly. I don't really want that many details, because Mafia games are great for the story. They're great for the characters that they build, the city that they build, whatever fictional city that they focus their story in. So to be honest, I'm big on story and narrative. I really don't want to hear no more about it. I just want to get my hands on it whenever it comes out. And that way I can just kind of just play through it blindly and figure things out for myself. Because these games have always told a great story. They always gave you a great protagonist, a kind of like anti-hero kind of, because this is a life of crime, this organized crime families and everything. So it's always been rich in that story and kind of detail, character-driven thing. So that's gonna be great to dive into. And the combat, from what I'm seeing, looks really good. Like, I felt like it's been an improvement each installment. You kind of just personally, I think with the Mafia games, like the ones you like the best, it's just kind of like which story that you like the best. For me, it always kind of changes. Mafia 2 has always been my favorite one. And then I went back and played Mafia 3 again, and I just realized like Mafia 3 probably does have the better story. I like the characters, I think, better in Mafia 2, but as far as the story, it was just so hardcore and visceral, and just because it was like back in the 60s, a Louisiana kind of based town, and racist white folk and everything. So it was just like, each game always feels authentic, but I think that one was just kind of like, something about that one was just like the most gritty, because that was like more of the revenge tale kind of game. The only thing about it was the gameplay was fun, and I liked the open world, but it lacked variety. That was my only complaint about Mafia 3. You just felt like you were driving around this big, huge city, and it didn't really offer too much. It just offered kind of the same variety of a few things. You're just doing it all across the map in different areas. It just didn't feel like it didn't feel like it was packed with too much content that differentiated from each other. It was just, you just routinely were doing the same things, and it kind of watered the game down. But if you focus on just the story and the characters, it was a really great, amazing game. It just kind of got bogged down because it's like, okay, well, the creativity with the world just wasn't there. They built so many great things, but when they gave you activities, it just kind of lacked. But it was a really fun game to shoot around and, you know, do things. But like the combat was great. Like I said, it was visceral, it was hardcore. Just, it was so punchy. If you played with headsets on full blast, it was just fun. It was just bass thumping everywhere, shootouts and the guns and how everything reacted, how you driving the cars. Like, I mean, in all Mafia games are like this. So it's just, they're just so fun to play, and it just puts you really in the environment. And from what I'm saying, in Mafia: The Old Country, it's the same thing. The biggest difference is just the time period, because this is more of a prequel. So this is like, I think it's like the early 1900s, and that's why you saw like the horseback, and then you saw original cars. Like, I don't even think they called them cars back then. I think they were automobiles. Like, the automobile, the Ford, such and such with 120 horsepower. Like, they old school with it. And then they got revolvers, and like they got old fashioned guns, which I'm feeling like when you play the game, it should sound a lot more punchy, a lot more bass, because the recoil on them things and just how they reverberated. And them guns was deadly back in the day, because like it's not like now. Like, if you get hit with a Glock, if you get hit in a certain spot, you can probably still survive if you don't get hit any more times. But back then, 1905, you got hit one time in your hip, it was a wrap. You probably wasn't gonna survive it. Your whole leg probably would have fell off, because them guns was violent back then. So I feel like the combat should be a lot more fun, a lot more fatal, a lot more deadly. And they playing with knives too. I like how he was throwing the knives around and stuff. And they had knife fights. You saw toward the end the knife fight. So it's kind of like Fight Night, but with knives. That's what it kind of seemed like to me. So I'm like, it's gonna be a lot of fun stuff in this game. I'm big on combat. I love combat, and I just, from what I saw with the physics too, I really liked it. Like Mafia 3 was pretty good with that too. It's just a personal thing I really like a lot, especially when I play games like Uncharted 4 and Max Payne 3. Like, as shooters, if we're talking about gameplay, we're talking about mechanics, we're talking about the physics of a game. And The Last of Us Part 2, those games were like, in my opinion, like masters at gunplay, combat, physics, movement, how buttery smooth everything was, the moment-to-moment action sequences. I don't know if Mafia: Old Country would be right up there with them, but from what I saw, it looks pretty good. It looks to sort of aim for that. I don't know when I actually play it and get into my hands if it's really gonna feel, you know, that revolutionary, but it looks promising. It looks fun enough, you know. Yeah, like I'm ready for this. I hope that August date sticks. I am thinking about pre-ordering, especially for $50. To be honest, I might get the deluxe edition. I heard they got a soundtrack with it. I love soundtracks, so and it's only 10 extra bucks, and $60 is what I've used to been paying for last generation before that. I feel like it's a steal, honestly. I mean, and I get, like, they made a great decision, because a lot of people, they play games, they love to play the 80+ hours or multiplayer that they can come back to every single time. You know, if you like COD or whatever, you just like, oh, I get my session, I got my homies and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, a lot of people are into those games that they spend time with again and again and again and again. And this is something that's like, you know, it probably has a story that you can finish probably within 20 hours. And then you just might be done. You might not come back to it. So I think that's probably their idea behind it being $50. It's not a game that's like a live service. It's not a game that's gonna provide you with content hours on hours on hours on end. They're like, no, it has a finish line. You can get to it in a fairly amount of time. It ain't gonna take up your life. And then you probably just move on to the next thing. I'm pretty sure that's the decision behind this game being $50. I like that. That's cool, you know, and that's goodwill, you know. So I want to give them support just for that alone. So, you know, that's just nice to see, especially with the announcements we've been having earlier this year and Nintendo, like I was happy about Nintendo, and then when Nintendo started talking about them prices, I was like, I don't know how I feel. And this is Nintendo. Nintendo usually always kind of like on the cheap end. They want you to have the stuff. You know, it's just they're never gonna go on sale. That's the only thing with them. They like, our prices are the same. You want a Mario game, you ain't gonna get it for no $20. You're gonna get it regular price. Whenever you feel like getting it, it's here. So when they started doing like $80 games, I was like, oh, well, you know everybody else is gonna do that now. So it's nice to see a company who has a nice storied IP like that. This is a franchise IP. You know what I mean? Like this is, I mean, it may not be Grand Theft Auto, I get it, but it's a big enough IP. People recognize the Mafia franchise. So for them to come out and be like, we're not even gonna go for 70, we're gonna go for 50 base standard. Respect. Anger 13 got respect. Like they already had my respect. They just got even more of my respect. It's like from 100% to 110% just for this move alone. So, you know, I'm happy about this game. Let me know how y'all feeling about this game. How y'all thinking this looks? Do y'all want to see more? To be honest, I really don't need to see more. I think someone said they got more things trickling down. I mean, it's a marketing rollout, of course. So, you know, it's made right now. The game's 3 months away. Of course, they're going to give us more stuff. But to be honest, I'm cool. I don't need nothing. I'm sold. Let's get it. You know, I'm just waiting. So, yeah, man, this your boy Super Mario 1990. I'm out. Peace in.